rise in Cobb County after the new public safety director abruptly hands in his resignation. It's a high-profile job managing police, fire, emergency, and animal services.
Michael Register has only been in that position for 4 months and even sat down with Reveal investigator Faith Abube about his plans for the position, and that was just in June. Faith, why the sudden decision to leave?
Yeah, and that's the thing, guys. Michael Register has worked his way up in law enforcement for this job, a 30-year law enforcement career in Cobb County. And when he got this job in April, he called it a blessing. But now he says urgent family issues need his immediate attention instead. As late as Monday night, Cobb County officials say they were busy trying to convince Public Safety Director Michael Register to stay in his position. But when those discussions failed, this email from the county at 11:14 p.m. Tuesday: Register would retire on August 31st, just 4 months into a job he fought for.
Now, another huge honor of being appointed the Director of Public Safety.
Register came into the position as a military veteran who worked at the Pentagon and became a police chief in Clayton and Cobb counties. We sat down with him in June after a Reveal investigation exposed a more than 30-year diversity problem within the Cobb County Police and Fire Departments.
I mean, what am I going to say? We're still not struggling with that.
Register said his plan was to address that and issues about retention and benefits for police and firefighters.
Because that's my commitment to the community. That's my commitment to public safety.
That commitment has now been tested. In a statement, Register wrote, quote, "I regret personal issues are tearing me away from this job." And the county says Register had been going back and forth out of state to help 2 family members with health issues. His resignation will allow him to move closer to them. The county says it's saddened by the decision, but understands family comes first. Discussions are happening right now about who, if anyone, will replace him.
All right. I know you'll keep us posted, Faith. Thank you.
You can find more stories like this and updates to our investigations every Sunday on The Reveal right here on 11 Alive.